Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Last time we did the breaker mitigation. This time we're gonna do the Reaper. And yeah, man, finally it's due. I've been talking about it on a live stream for a minute now. Everybody's been asking me what is a Reaper, what's a Reaper. So we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna tell you guys what it is, how you guys can use it, what you wanna look for. I'll first draw it out for you guys so you guys know what it looks like, and then we're gonna go over a bullish and a bearish example, and so on and so forth. But yeah, let's get into it, man.
Yeah, get into it.
So now that we're in the charts, we can talk about the steps we need to look at to figure out a Reaper fair value gap. First things first, you want to make sure there is a breaker block, because without a breaker block, there is no Reaper. So that's going to be our first thing we're going to look for. So over here, we have our breaker that's already formed. So the second thing we want to see, if we have to make sure that there is a breaker on the first leg of the breaker block. So there's three legs to a breaker. We have our leg that creates the low, and then we have the leg that manipulates the high that we left behind, and then we have the leg that displaces, which runs on the low that was left before the manipulation, right? This was the low that was left before the manipulation. So the next candle that displaced was the candle that created the breaker. So now we go back, we have to make sure that there's a fair value gap in the first leg over here. So that fair value gap is your Reaper fair value gap. Now your third thing would be you would wait for price to retrace to the Reaper, and that would be your entry, and so on and so forth, and vice versa for your bearish example. Your first leg would be this, your second leg would be this, your third leg would be this, because this is the leg that manipulated the low, this is the leg that displaced, which created the breaker. So this is going to be the leg that's going to have the Reaper. Simple as that. Now I'm going to get into the charts and show you guys what it's going to look like on the charts with the candlesticks. We actually had it today form. I just didn't trade today, so I didn't take it, but yeah, let's get into it. All right, let's see what it looks like on the charts. Now that we're on the charts, I have it drawn out for you guys. So this would be considered as our first leg, our second leg, and our third leg. Going back to the steps I had laid out, in the first leg, we want to see a fair value gap. So over here we have a fair value gap. This is going to be called a Reaper fair value gap. And the third leg we want to see displace, and obviously we want to see a breaker, and so on and so forth. And our breaker would be right over here. That being said, the precise entry was once price displays below. We know the breaker is created once our candle closes below these candles over here. And as we close below, we wait for price to retrace to our point of interest, which is a Reaper. And as we do, we retrace into it. We get another entry, which is our breaker entry, and so on and so forth. And then price continues to rip to the downside as it's supposed to. And yeah, that's our bearish example. Let's get into a bullish example. All right, now looking at our second example, we have a bullish example over here. We did the same thing, just vice versa. We have the first leg over here, the second leg that manipulated the first leg, and then we have the third leg that distributed after we close above these candles over here. We know that this is the manipulation because this candle had a strong move to the upside, and as that happened, the breaker block was created, and we happen to have a fair value gap on the first leg of the move, right? So that would be considered a Reaper. And as you can see, price goes up, price retraces back into it. It retraces in macro at first at 250 macro. We have a reaction to the upside. We come back to it in 350 macro, and then we have the actual move to the upside. And yeah, man, it's really simple. It's super simple, but it's so effective. I say this about every single one of the things I talk about because that's really how it is. And I'm all about precision and accuracy. And as much as I love most models that people talk about out there, I feel like most of them lack consistency and just precision a lot. And that being said, I want you guys to go and try this out on your own. And if it works for you, which it should if you do it correctly, then that's really good. And if it doesn't, then it's completely fine also. And if you have any additional questions, you can ask me. And yeah, man, there's a lot more stuff I want to talk to you guys about. But this is just the start. I've laid mitigation breaker on you guys, and I've laid this. And to be honest, this with the market structure shift I talk about and all of that, high time frame ERL, MMXM, this is sort of all you need, man. Like it doesn't get easier than this. The only thing that's stopping you now is just psychology. And yeah, man, if I can do it, so can you. If that guy can do it, so can you, and so on and so forth. But yeah, man, good luck. I hope this helped. But yeah, go back test. Go trade it in live markets. You don't have to click the button. You just have to make sure you're doing it correctly and build trust in it. Develop confidence in it. And yeah, the only way is up, man. That's the only way. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you did, and if it didn't make sense, I recommend watching it again. And again, you can go into my Discord. There are some people who have taught this too, so they can teach you if anything. And yeah, man, I'll see you next time.